Carlos, an 18-year-old athlete from Argentina, had a strong desire to compete in the Olympics by the age of 21. His life took an unexpected turn during a planned hiking trip with his teammates, Diego and Mateo, who shared his athletic passion. They embarked on the journey in Mateo's family SUV to a remote cabin nestled in the Patagonian wilderness. Mateo's family's wealth afforded them the luxury of owning the cabin, promising an unforgettable getaway. Stay tuned to discover what happens next. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories. Diego was an avid reader. He sought solace in literary worlds, while Mateo shared Carlos's focus on sports. Carlos's mother, a former athlete herself, raised him single-handedly, instilling in him a drive for excellence. The trip offered a much-needed respite from the relentless pressure Carlos faced. Upon arrival, eager to escape the scorching heat, Carlos wasted no time in heading for a refreshing swim in the nearby river. However, his tranquility was shattered when he encountered a creature in the water that resembled a snake. Despite his initial shock, Carlos cautiously assessed the creature's behavior, gauging any potential threat it posed. Sensing danger, he made a swift attempt to retreat, propelling himself upward with all his might as the creature swiftly approached. In the moments before resurfacing, Carlos felt a peculiar sensation in his ear, igniting a wave of concern. Despite his efforts to evade the creature, uncertainty lingered, casting a shadow over what was supposed to be a carefree excursion. With a surge of fear, he urgently signaled to his friends to flee the water, their hearts pounding in unison with his. After a hurried shower to wash away the residue of his distress, they sought solace in a nearby restaurant, hoping to quell their nerves with food and distraction. Yet even as they watched the sun sink behind the majestic peaks from the comfort of the porch, Carlos's unease persisted like an unwelcome shadow, casting a pall over the otherwise idyllic scene. As the evening deepened, so did Carlos's discomfort, his once mild anxiety escalating into a feverish turmoil that set his friends on edge. Mateo, renowned for his meticulous nature, delved into the depths of his research to shed light on Carlos's mysterious encounter with the creature in the water. His findings offered a glimmer of relief, suggesting that the creature was likely a harmless baby water snake, its bite posing no serious threat. Yet despite this reassurance, Carlos's agitation only intensified, his rising temperature a palpable testament to his escalating anxiety. As night fell and the world around them retreated into slumber, Carlos's suffering reached a crescendo in the silent hours before dawn. He awoke to a searing pain that tore through his ear like fire, wrenching anguished cries from his throat. Diego and Mateo, roused from their own restless sleep, rushed to his side, their hearts constricted with fear as they beheld their friend writhing in torment. Despite their desperate attempts to offer comfort and solace, Carlos's agony only deepened, his cries echoing through the night like a haunting lament. In a desperate bid to ease his suffering, Mateo gently pried Carlos's hand away from his ear, his breath catching in his throat as he beheld the sight that awaited him, a sight that would plunge them all into a maelstrom of terror and despair. Diego's stomach churned with horror as he gazed upon the grotesque scene unfolding before him. Following Mateo's frantic reaction, he too peered into Carlos's ear, only to be met with a sight so horrifying that it sent him reeling. Overwhelmed by revulsion, Diego staggered towards the bathroom, his body convulsing with violent retching as he struggled to purge the ghastly image from his mind. Mateo struggled to stay calm as his heart raced with fear. He quickly put on his boots and grabbed his keys, joining Diego in carrying their injured friend to the car. As they sped towards the hospital, their drive filled with danger and uncertainty, Mateo and Diego were gripped by a sense of unreality, as if they were in a nightmare. Their efforts to call for help were met with frustration, as fate seemed to be against them, leaving them stranded on the side of the road. Their only hope was to wait for a passing vehicle to come to their aid. Meanwhile, Carlos's suffering intensified as he cried out in pain, his cries echoing through the silent night. The malevolent presence within his ear continued its relentless assault, causing blood to ooze from his wounded ear. His eyes rolled back in his head as he teetered on the brink of consciousness, his very life hanging in the balance with time running out and his friend's condition rapidly deteriorating. Diego and Mateo knew they had to act quickly, drawing on reserves of courage they never knew they possessed. They set about devising a plan to extricate the ring serpent that had ensnared Carlos in its deadly embrace. With trembling hands and faltering resolve, Mateo wielded her tweezers while Diego prepared the necessary supplies. Their hearts were heavy with dread as they confronted the horrifying reality of their situation. Despite their valiant efforts, the creature remained stubbornly entrenched. Its serpentine form was a chilling testament to the fragility of human life and the capricious whims of fate. As Carlos lapsed into unconsciousness, his fragile form racked with agony, Diego and Mateo were left to grapple with the terrifying specter of the unknown, a shadowy realm where nightmares roamed unchecked, and the boundaries between reality and madness blurred beyond recognition. As the first rays of dawn illuminated the horizon, casting long shadows across the landscape, they could only pray that help would arrive in time to save their friend from the clutches of a fate too terrible to contemplate. When Carlos lay in the ICU, his friends anxiously hovered in the waiting area, their hearts heavy with worry. Meanwhile, the medical team faced a daunting challenge, the delicate task of extracting the serpent that had been stuck in Carlos's ear. With each passing moment, the stakes grew higher, and the doctors were forced to confront the grim reality of their predicament. As the surgical team prepared for the arduous procedure ahead, tension hung thick in the air. Every move was fraught with uncertainty, as the snake was firmly lodged within Carlos's ear. The physicians wrestled with a dilemma: how to extract the creature without causing further harm to their fragile patient. In a desperate bid to save Carlos's life, the surgeons embarked on a daring surgical intervention. Their skilled hands, guided by precision and resolve, succeeded in removing the serpent from its unsuspecting host. However, even as they celebrated their success, a new threat emerged. A shadow loomed over the operating theater, casting fear and apprehension. The medical team grappled with the aftermath of the surgery, only to realize their worst fears. A scan revealed ominous signs of injury to Carlos's brain, plunging him into a coma from which he might never awaken. Despite their tireless efforts, the doctors were powerless to reverse the damage wrought by the insidious intruder that had infiltrated his mind. For Mateo and Diego, the news was devastating. Their hopes were shattered by the cruel twist of fate that had robbed their friend of his vitality and strength. As Carlos's mother lashed out in grief and anger, blaming the young men for her son's plight, Mateo and Diego found themselves cast adrift in a sea of guilt and remorse. Their friendship was tested to its limits by forces beyond their control. In the agonizing days that followed, Carlos's condition deteriorated further, leaving him paralyzed and helpless, a prisoner in his own body. With each passing day, the weight of his immobility grew heavier, and his world shrank to the confines of a hospital bed. His dreams slipped through his fingers like grains of sand as his mother struggled to keep him alive. She grappled with the crushing burden of medical bills and uncertainty, clinging to the slender hope that someday, somehow, her beloved child might find a way back to the world of the living. Yet even as Carlos lay trapped in his silent prison, a new terror reared its head, a serpent of a different kind, creeping its insidious way into his consciousness. It tormented him with visions of dread and despair, and as he gazed up at the ceiling, his heart pounding with fear, he knew that his battle was far from over. His worst nightmares lurked in the shadows, waiting to pounce when the snake drew closer. Carlos sought solace within himself, reaching deep into the recesses of his mind in a moment of desperation. He visualized his right hand lifting, summoning all his focus and determination to make his imagination a reality. When he opened his eyes, the snake lay coiled on the bed beside him, its menacing presence a chilling reminder of his vulnerability. Undeterred, Carlos concentrated once more, willing his hand to move. To his amazement, it obeyed, dropping an object from the bedside table with a clatter. Rushing into the room at the sound, the nurse discovered Carlos's hand in motion, a sight that defied explanation. With a mixture of concern and bewilderment, She examined Carlos, finding no trace of the serpent that had haunted his thoughts. Reporting the incident to Carlos's mother, the nurse's revelation sparked a newfound hope in the depths of despair. Devoting herself wholeheartedly to her son's recovery, Carlos's mother embraced the possibility of a brighter future, rallying behind her with unwavering support. With the aid of dedicated doctors and a determined spirit, Carlos embarked on a grueling journey of rehabilitation, tapping into the power of his mind to overcome physical limitations through sheer perseverance and inner strength. He reclaimed his independence, learning to walk, feed himself, and bathe without assistance, though his ears remained impaired. Carlos adapted with resilience, embracing tools such as hearing aids, sign language, and lip reading to navigate his world. Yet even as he forged ahead on his path to recovery, he faced another daunting challenge: reconnecting with friends who had been absent during his darkest hours. Driven by a desire for reconciliation, Carlos reached out to Mateo and Diego, extending an olive branch of forgiveness and understanding. Overjoyed at the prospect of reuniting with their friend, Diego and Mateo eagerly accepted his invitation, eager to mend the bonds that had been strained by adversity. As they reunited, Carlos's mother acknowledged her own shortcomings, offering a heartfelt apology to both Mateo and Diego for her earlier accusations. Touched by her sincerity, the young men accepted her words with grace, their friendship emerging stronger than ever before. With a renewed sense of purpose, Carlos resolved to confront his fears head-on, embarking on a journey back to the mountains where his ordeal had begun. Despite his mother's initial reluctance, he refused to be deterred, determined to seize every moment of his newfound freedom with his best friends. Carlos returned to the scene of his greatest trial, facing down the serpent that had once threatened to consume him in a moment of courage and defiance. He released the creature back into the river, reclaiming his power and proving himself a true conqueror of fear. When they stood together on the banks of the river, Carlos, Diego, and Mateo shared a bond forged in the crucible of adversity. United by the strength of their friendship and the triumph of the human spirit, they looked ahead to the future, knowing that no challenge was too great to overcome so long as they faced it together, going into another part of the world to hear another story. The story of Khan, a 7-year-old vibrant young boy who lived with his family in the peaceful village of Kabalban, nestled in the heart of Afghanistan's rugged mountains. This tight-knit community was a place where the laughter of children filled the air, and neighbors were more like family. Known for his bright eyes and joyful spirit, Khan was a cherished presence in the village. However, one afternoon, the tranquility of Kabalban was violently disrupted as Khan was chatting and assisting his mother in the kitchen. Their world was torn apart by an explosion, a bomb, a stark symbol of the ongoing conflict surrounding their village. The shockwave from the blast triggered a catastrophic accident at home. A gas cylinder in their kitchen exploded, engulfing Khan in flames. His mother, in a state of sheer panic, fought to extinguish the fire while neighbors rushed to their aid. Despite the immediate care provided by the Kabalban Polyclinic, it became clear that Khan's injuries were beyond their capacity to treat. He had suffered severe burns that required advanced medical intervention, something far beyond the small facility's abilities. Throughout that harrowing night, Khan's mother, alongside the caring villagers, stayed by his side. They offered whatever comfort they could, their presence a beacon of hope in the bleakness of the situation. United in their concern, they prayed fervently for Khan's recovery, refusing to let despair take hold. This tragic event marked the beginning of a challenging journey for Khan, yet it was also the start of an unexpected transformation. Just when all seemed lost, a remarkable opportunity presented itself, one that would profoundly change Khan's life and set him on a new path. This twist of fate emerging from the depths of his despair promised a glimmer of hope and a chance for him to reclaim his future. Days later, Khan stirred from the haze of unconsciousness, his mind grappling with the harsh reality of his surroundings. The sterile walls of the hospital room loomed over him, suffused with the scent of antiseptic as he slowly regained consciousness. His body bore the marks of the traumatic incident, severe burns etched across his face and chest, remnants of the fiery explosion that had engulfed him. The once smooth contours of his skin were now marred by blistered flesh, each movement causing a sharp, searing pain that echoed through his fragile form. With great effort, Khan peeled back the layers of bandages that shrouded his wounds. His heart heavy with dread, in the reflection of the mirror, he confronted the altered visage that stared back at him. A face distorted by scars and disfigurement, a stark departure from the vibrant boy he once knew himself to be. The realization of his changed appearance struck him like a blow, plunging him into a whirlpool of despair and anguish. It felt as though a part of his identity had been torn away, leaving behind only a shadow of his former self. And as his family gazed upon him with tear-filled eyes, he knew that they too shared in his silent agony, their hearts heavy with sorrow. For the loss they had all endured despite their relentless efforts, Khan's parents found themselves hitting a wall in their search for medical treatment. They embarked on a desperate journey, traversing vast distances in pursuit of specialists and experts who could offer a glimmer of hope. Yet at every turn they were met with the same disheartening verdict: there seemed to be no viable solution for Khan's burns. As the days wore on, Khan and his family grappled with the grim reality of their situation. They mourned the loss of the once vibrant boy Khan was, while grappling with the stark truth of his disfigurement. However, amidst the darkness, a flicker of hope emerged, a belief that even amidst the depths of suffering, there existed the possibility of finding beauty and purpose in life. Their hopes were buoyed when a doctor from the international organization, Doctors Without Borders, arrived in their village as a volunteer. Upon learning of Khan's plight, he was deeply moved and resolved to help him with unwavering determination. He reached out to Dr. Sam Parker, a renowned plastic surgeon based in Bristol, United Kingdom, known for his expertise in treating burns. Dr. Parker, touched by Khan's story, readily agreed to take on his case with the organization facilitating transportation. Khan was swiftly brought to Dr. Parker's clinic. The doctor conducted a thorough assessment of his condition, recognizing the extent of his injuries and the profound impact they had on his life. Drawing upon his extensive experience, Dr. Parker devised a comprehensive treatment plan tailored to Khan's unique needs. He outlined a series of procedures aimed at both improving the functionality and restoring the aesthetics of his injuries. However, he cautioned Khan and his family that the road to recovery would be long and challenging, requiring unwavering perseverance and resilience. Dr. Sam Parker assured Khan and his family that he would spare more effort in helping him regain his confidence and quality of life, no matter how daunting the road ahead might seam. After the critical initial surgeries, during which Khan required intensive care and close monitoring, Dr. Sam arranged for him to recuperate in his own home, recognizing the importance of providing a safe and supportive environment. During this delicate phase of his recovery, Dr. Sam's family warmly welcomed Khan into their home, his children and wife embracing him, by offering him companionship and support as he navigated the challenges of rehabilitation. Khan found himself gradually healing, both physically and emotionally, in the warm and inviting atmosphere, which provided him with a sense of security and belonging that he had longed for during his recovery. Bonding with the family's children, who embraced him as a cherished sibling, played a significant role in his healing journey. Through shared activities, playtime, and laughter, Khan found solace and comfort in the company of his newfound family, whose genuine affection and companionship helped him shed the emotional burdens he had carried for so long in this nurturing environment. Khan also discovered a newfound motivation to pursue personal growth and development. Encouraged by his new family, he eagerly engaged in various activities and embraced opportunities to learn and explore English language lessons, which became not only a means of communication, but also a symbol of his resilience and determination to build a brighter future. As Khan's confidence grew and his spirit revived, he began to regain hope in life again, supported by Dr. Sam's family. He finally found the strength to overcome adversity and embrace the possibilities that lay ahead, knowing that he was not alone in his journey. Toward healing and recovery, Khan embarked on a path of transformation under Dr. Sam's care. He underwent a series of milestone surgeries that marked significant turning points in his recovery. The initial skin grafting surgery addressed the extensive burns on his face and chest, laying the foundation for healing and restoration. Khan's path to recovery was fraught with significant challenges, particularly with eating, as the fire had severely damaged his face, melting parts of it and impairing his ability to chew and swallow. The reconstructive surgery he underwent was meticulously planned, not just to rebuild his facial aesthetics, but to enhance his functional capability, allowing him to eat without discomfort. These surgeries, along with scar revision and facial rejuvenation treatments, significantly improved his appearance, which in turn greatly boosted his self-esteem. Dr. Sam's comprehensive approach didn't stop at aesthetics. He was equally focused on restoring Khan's facial functions through a series of functional restoration surgeries. He ensured that Khan could blink, smile, and breathe with ease with each successful surgery. Khan's resilience was fortified and supported by the unwavering encouragement from the Dr. Sam, his family, and the broader community as well. This collective support became a cornerstone of his recovery, propelling him towards his goals with renewed hope and determination as he approached the culmination of his treatment journey. Dr. Sam meticulously performed final touch-ups to refine Khan's appearance further, ensuring he felt utterly confident as he prepared to reintegrate into his everyday life. Meanwhile, the longing of Khan's parents for their son intensified with each passing day, despite the physical distance. Their connection remained strong, sustained by regular updates from Dr. Sam and the comfort found in their fervent prayers for Khan's swift and complete recovery. The bond between Khan and his parents, though tested by distance, remained indestructible, a testament to their mutual love, hope, and belief in a brighter shared future. After a year filled with surgeries and recovery, Khan was finally prepared to reunite with his parents. While Dr. Sam's family felt a bittersweet pang at his departure, they recognized that his place was with his parents, who eagerly awaited his return. Khan's transformation extended beyond his outer appearance, because during his time in the United Kingdom, he had not only healed physically, but had also grown emotionally and psychologically thanks to the support of a psychologist who helped him process the accident's trauma and embrace life's challenges with grace and resilience. As Khan bid farewell to Dr. Sam and his family, he took with him the lessons learned and the strength gained from his ordeal, ready to face the future with courage and optimism. While the day of his departure neared, Dr. Sam and his family meticulously planned a touching farewell for Khan. It was a celebration that brought together moments of joy, tears, and profound expressions of affection, creating an unforgettable tapestry of human connection. They gifted Khan tokens of affection and memorabilia, each item a symbol of the deep bonds and cherished memories they had cultivated together. Khan, overwhelmed by emotion, said his goodbyes to the friends who had become like family in the city that had been his sanctuary, if only for a while. On the journey back to Afghanistan, Khan was a bundle of mixed feelings as he boarded the military aircraft. His passage was facilitated by the very organization that had been his beacon of hope. The flight was a whirlwind of anticipation and a touch of anxiety, carrying him over landscapes that spoke of familiarity in stories untold. Afghanistan unfolded beneath him, a canvas of his past, present, and future. The moment the plane's wheels kissed the Afghan soil, Khan knew he had traversed a full circle. Despite the adversities faced and the obstacles conquered, he was home, with a heart brimming with courage and gratitude. He was ready to step into the future, carrying the strength and wisdom he had garnered from his experiences. Today's narrative sheds light on the resilience of a soul that, despite being victimized in childhood, rises above the trauma and violence such stories evoke. It evokes a deep reflection on the injustices no child should ever experience. After watching this story, what do you think of the societal and individual roles in protecting and nurturing the innocence and potential of every child? Your insights and reflections are welcome in the comments section below. Then there is another story about an infant. Let's expect what will happen when Linda went into labor. The delivery room was filled with tension and anxiety. Her cries echoed loudly, prompting the doctors to work diligently to ensure a successful delivery. Finally, the newborn arrived, bringing a sense of relief and calmness to her. However, her joy quickly turned to concern when she noticed the shocked expressions on the faces of the doctors as the medical team briskly rushed the baby out of the ward without allowing Linda to hold her. Anxiety escalated into panic as she pleaded for an explanation, but the doctors reassured her while whisking the child away. Linda's screams of fright filled the room, tears streaming down her face as she begged for answers. Meanwhile, Richard, Linda's husband, arrived at the ward and was met with the sounds of his wife's distress. Concerned, he sought answers from the doctors, but was told to trust the medical team. Returning to Linda's side, he did his best to calm her down, assuring her that everything would be okay. 2 weeks later, the couple finally held their baby. Tears welled up in Richard's eyes as he cradled their child, while Linda wiped away a tear from his face. In that moment, surrounded by their newborn and their love for each other, they knew that their journey had been worth it. After being married for over 5 years without a child, Linda and her husband Richard embarked on a challenging journey to conceive. They underwent numerous medical tests and treatments, including multiple rounds of IVF in their quest to start a family. Despite their efforts, they faced disappointment time and again, leaving them both exhausted and frustrated. Linda often found herself overcome with emotions, waking up in tears in the middle of the night. Richard, in his efforts to console her, reassured her that their time would come. But as the delays persisted, he too began to feel the weight of their struggles. The strain on their relationship became evident as they found themselves arguing more frequently, even over minor issues that would typically be quickly resolved. Their once loving bond began to fray as Richard, overwhelmed by his own frustrations, inadvertently placed blame on Linda for their inability to conceive. Meanwhile, Linda, feeling the sting of his words and the weight of their shared disappointment, lashed out in return, worsening the rift between them. Unable to bear the strain any longer, Linda made the difficult decision to take a break from their relationship, seeking solace in solitude. Hacking her belongings, Linda left their home, leaving Richard to grapple with the pain of her departure. He cursed himself for the hurt he had caused her, realizing too late the depth of her suffering. Despite Richard's pleas for her to return, his promises of greater understanding and support, Linda remained resolute in her need for space. However, just when it seemed their relationship was irreparably damaged, a miraculous discovery changed everything. A month after their separation, Linda noticed a missed period, sparking a glimmer of hope within her. Linda's visit to the hospital for a pregnancy test marked a turning point in their journey as she anxiously awaited the results. Her heart raced with anticipation when the test confirmed her pregnancy. Her joy knew no bounds as tears of happiness streamed down her face as she held the test result. Speechless with emotion and eager to share the news with Richard, she called him immediately. Richard, unsure of what to expect, was taken aback by the sheer excitement in Linda's voice. Though initially puzzled by her scream, he quickly realized the significance of her words. Overwhelmed with joy, he couldn't contain his excitement, his own tears of happiness mirroring Linda's in his eagerness to have Linda back home. Richard pleaded with her to return, emphasizing the importance of both parents being there for their child. Linda was touched by his heartfelt plea and was surprised when Richard referred to the baby as Kate. Intrigued, she questioned him about the name choice, to which Richard confidently asserted that their child would be a girl named Kate Helen Marie. Despite Linda's suggestion to wait for the scan results, Richard's unwavering conviction won her over with a renewed sense of hope and anticipation. Linda agreed to return home, marking the beginning of their reconciliation. As they reunited, their love began to blossom once again, strengthened by the shared excitement of welcoming their daughter Kate into the world. A month after Richard's confident prediction about their baby's gender, Linda went for a scan confirming their expectations of a baby girl. Their hearts swelled with joy as they embarked on preparations for Kate's arrival, gathering clothes, diapers, and all the essentials a newborn would need. Richard's unwavering support during this time was a testament to his dedication as a husband and soon-to-be father. Despite his demanding work schedule, he accompanied Linda to all her antenatal checkups, ran errands, and even exercised with her to ensure her well-being. Richard's attentiveness extended to satisfying Linda's cravings and condoning her mood swings, striving to keep her happy and stress-free. Linda, overwhelmed by his gestures, couldn't help but feel grateful for Richard's unwavering support. Every kick from their unborn daughter filled her with indescribable joy, dispelling any pain or discomfort she might have felt. The journey of pregnancy, despite its challenges, brought Linda and Richard closer together, reinforcing their bond as they eagerly anticipated Kate's birth. Richard, ever the devoted father-to-be, even took up learning hairstyling skills in anticipation of styling Kate's hair to perfection. When the delivery date approached, Linda discovered that she was alone at home, as Richard had been called for an emergency meeting at the office. When her water broke, signaling the onset of labor, she desperately tried to contact Richard, but with no response, she took the initiative and arranged for transportation to the hospital. The pains of labor intensified with each passing moment, testing Linda's endurance as she wailed and screamed in agony during the ride to the hospital. Despite her urgency, the cab driver navigated through the streets with caution, ensuring they reached the hospital safely and in time for the imminent arrival of their daughter, Kate. The cabbie wasted no time rushing Linda to the hospital and alerting the nurses as soon as they arrived with urgency. The nurses swiftly assisted Linda from the cab to the delivery room. One of the nurses, a familiar face to her, settled the cab fare with the driver, alleviating one worry amidst the chaos. As Linda labored to bring forth her child, a mixture of relief and gratitude flooded her being. Finally, the moment she had longed for was at hand. She was about to become a mother. However, her joy was short-lived as she noticed the grim expressions on the doctors' faces before she could fully comprehend the situation. Her newborn baby was whisked away, leaving her with a sense of foreboding. A quick glance at her baby revealed a sight that filled Linda with apprehension. The baby's skin was a deep shade of red, covered in thick white scales. Though she wanted to believe it could be managed, the solemn looks exchanged among the medical staff hinted at a different reality. Instilling fear in her heart, Kate was swiftly transported to the ICU, where a series of tests were conducted, including a physical examination, genetic testing, and a skin biopsy. The diagnosis confirmed her worst fears. Kate suffered from the rare genetic disorder known as harlequin ichthyosis, a disorder characterized by an overproduction of skin cells that pose significant challenges to her survival. For the next 2 weeks, Linda and Richard were engulfed in a whirlwind of emotions as they kept a constant watch by Kate's bedside in the ICU. Their hearts heavy with the fear of losing their newborn daughter, they clung to hope, praying fervently for her recovery. While Linda watched over her baby in the ICU, the severity of Kate's condition became apparent. Her skin thickened into patches with deep red cracks, posing significant challenges. Her fingers and toes were permanently shortened, and she struggled to grow normal skin. Her ears and nose were covered, while her eyelids were flipped inside out, revealing the extent of her condition. Despite the bleak prognosis, Kate's strength overcame the odds, and she emerged as a symbol of hope in the face of adversity. Though her journey ahead would be fraught with challenges, Linda and Richard found solace in the miracle of their daughter's survival, clinging to the hope of brighter days ahead. 2 weeks after their child's birth, the couple was finally able to hold their precious baby, embarking on a journey of unwavering commitment to ensure that Kate would thrive in a nurturing environment filled with love. This unforeseen event drastically changed the family's routine, with Kate becoming the focal point of their lives. They adapted their routines to meet her unique needs, as Kate's care involved lengthy baths to gently remove her excess skin. Richard, who had imagined braiding his daughter's hair, gently combed the little hair she had, demonstrating great patience and care. The family frequently visited various doctors to ensure Kate received the necessary medical attention for her condition. Despite the challenges, the family never once saw Kate as anything less than a beloved child, deserving of love and care. Linda, embracing her role, stepped into the limelight to share their story, educating other parents about Kate's disorder and offering guidance on managing similar challenges. Kate's condition affected her growth, making her appear smaller than other children her age. Her skin was constantly red and swollen, a result of excessive skin production that also led to sparse hair due to damaged follicles. This visible difference led to stigmatization, with Kate receiving awkward stares and questions from both adults and children alike. These reactions deeply saddened Linda, prompting her to address the issue publicly. She questioned why people hesitated to engage with those who looked different, urging them to embrace curiosity and openness rather than avoidance. Beyond raising awareness, Linda created a blog titled Blessed by Kate and authored a book named A Different Kind of Beautiful, seeing Kate's condition as an avenue to support and inspire other parents, especially those with children facing disabilities. Despite her skin condition, Kate exhibited the joys and behaviors of any other child, cherishing her family and enjoying bedtime stories and playing with an admirable level of confidence. Courtney shared on her blog how Kate embodied determination, extroversion, and a delightful mix of sweetness and sassiness. Their lives were filled with genuine joy, contentment, gratitude, and faith. This beautiful family openly expressed their gratitude for Kate, considering themselves blessed to have her through their journey. They've gleaned invaluable insights into parenting a child with unique needs, eagerly sharing their experiences to enlighten and support other families in similar situations. We invite our readers to share their thoughts and feelings. How would you react if you were in the Westlake's shoes, encountering the same challenges with your child? Join the conversation in the comments below, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell. Until the next time.